What is up, sky enthusiasts? That's right, I said sky enthusiasts. Today we are talking about the craziest things to ever fall from the sky.
The sky is falling!
Because contrary to popular belief, as you may know, the skies are not just filled with birds and clouds and angels and heaven above, but also blood and spiders and meat. So grab your umbrella, or maybe a shotgun, because today we're talking about some of the most unholy things that have ever fallen from the sky. We're gonna be starting today with the most magical place on earth, Kentucky. A state famous for bourbon, fried chicken, and horse races. Oh, and also meat showers. You can't forget about the Kentucky meat shower, which was a real historical event. On March 3rd of 1876 in Bath County, chunks of raw red flesh just started falling from the sky. There was no storm, no clouds, just a bunch of people standing outside like, what a fine spring day. Oh my god, is that a liver? Eyewitnesses said the pieces of meat were about 2 by 2 inches, but some of them were up to 4 by 4 inches wide. The chunks of meat fell from the sky seemingly without cause and covered a 100 square yard area, that's a lot of meat falling from the sky. What the hell? Now, this isn't Minnesota, this isn't Boston, okay? We're talking about Kentucky. So the lovely people of this state decided, hell, we're gonna taste it, right? Some people reported that it tastes like venison, others reported that it tasted like lamb. I don't know how much truth was held to that. So what was the scientific explanation for the meat rain? Vulture puke. Turkey vultures are known to projectile vomit mid-air in order to lighten their body weight so they can fly further. Science's best guess is that a large group of turkey vultures that was traveling together all decided to upchuck so they could go a little faster, hit that speed upgrade. Which gives me more questions about the people who ate it. So the next time you complain about some bird poop on your windshield, it could be a T-bone steak. And that's a fine delicacy for the Kentuckians. I have nothing against Kentucky. This was sincerely just because it was the 1800s, I'm pretty sure is why they ate it. Next up, have you ever heard of Sharknado? No? You lucky son of a bitch. Well, this is kind of like that, only instead of sharks, there was a storm of frogs and fish. And actually, this has happened multiple times, which honestly makes it weirder. Sri Lanka, England, Mexico, you name it, lots and lots of places fall victim to frog and fish rain. Scientists even have a very specific name for this. They call it animal rain. Which, wow, I wonder where they got that idea. Imagine explaining that to your insurance company. Yeah, I've got a little bit of hail damage, but mostly all of the fish carcasses that hit my car just really scratched up the paint. So how does animal rain happen? Usually, natural catastrophes like waterspouts, tornadoes, and vacuums pick up frogs and fish from large bodies of water and suck it up into the sky. These animals get yeeted into the clouds and dumped elsewhere via the water cycle. A huge contributor of this near the equator is something called El Nino, which if you're a Bill Nye fan, if you grew up watching Bill Nye, you know what El Nino is. Essentially, heat waves cause large heated areas in the ocean, which causes several fish to die, and then the tropical storms that move in suck up all the fish and dump it. So that's fun. And if I'm wrong about that, you can blame Bill Nye, not me. I'm a YouTube commentator. I'm not a meteorologist. And neither is Bill Nye, by the way. Up next, blood rain. You're in Kerala, India in 2001, and it starts raining blood like some kind of sick plague from God. Well, at least that's what it looked like. It wasn't actual blood, but the rain was red. Scarlet rain, scarlet rain. Locals described large storms of blood red rain covering rooftops, towns, and pretty much everything. It pooled up, it was gross, it was red. Several people thought that it could be the coming of the apocalypse, or maybe even aliens. But scientists were like, that's probably algae. Turns out all of the water was full of microscopic red particles, most likely spores of algae or lichen, and this was blown into the clouds and mixed with everyday rainfall. Since 2001, in 2014, red rain was also spotted in Spain. That rhymed, I'm a poet, I didn't know it. And again, this was linked to dust, poor air quality, and algae, so checks out. But let's be real, if you walked outside and you saw that rain the color of blood was falling from the sky and pooling around your feet, you wouldn't immediately think, is this lichen spores? Is this algae? No, you'd call your mom and apologize for everything you've ever did wrong and try to atone for your sins before it was too late. That's just what's, human nature. Alright, fish and frogs are kind of funny, meat is just nasty, and then red rain is like the prank that, isn't really that exciting. It just boils down to algae. But it's time for the falling from the sky final boss, which is spiders. In 2015, residents of Goulburn, New South Wales reported that the sky was literally filling with spiders that floated down on millions of silk strands, blanketing fields and covering houses. But this isn't just an extraordinary event, this is a regular day in Australia. Well, maybe not regular day in Australia, but the locals certainly weren't surprised. Why? Because lots of native spiders in Australia like to do something called ballooning. They climb up somewhere high, release a bunch of silk threads, and then let the wind carry them off like majestic arachnid paragliders. Sorry, got cut up there. Sometimes various breeds of spiders and multiple swarms do it all at once, which causes a spider rain. So essentially, if you're planning on going to Australia soon, be sure to get a local tour guide to make sure that you aren't going during spider rain season. Oi mate, don't go out there! This guy's fucking infested! Forget nukes, forget asteroids. If spiders start weaponizing weather balloons, that's it for humanity, dog. So, what was your favorite unexpected item that has fallen from the sky I covered? Was it maybe chunks of meat? Vulture upchuck, perhaps? Spiders? Fish? Really, I have a myriad of things that are disgusting that fall from the sky. The next time you hear raindrops on your roof, I think we can all just say a little prayer to whatever God we believe in that it's raindrops, because history says, surprisingly more often than you think, it could be other things. I hope you liked this video. My name is Melody. I do all sorts of commentary videos on all things freaky, geeky, and spooky, so if that sounds like something that would interest you, maybe check my channel out. Until next time.